Well, hello, welcome everybody. Hey, it's another Saturday art stream. It is I, Nathan Bonner, and actually, you may hear some traffic rolling by as I do have the windows open since it's surprisingly cool for an August 1st in Southern Illinois. So, anyway, I'm Nathan Bonner. I am the animator and creator and everything else, except for the voices of Indavo 3.0. I'm also the artist for the Big Muddy Monster, a true life tale of Murphy'sboro. Get ready to go into its third issue, which will have some maybe not so true life tales. Also some true life tales as well. A mix of fact and fiction. Anyhow, today, what are we doing? Well, we're looking at Link today. Well, no, we're not. Okay, let's go into Clip History Pro. Okay, so we're going to be doing some frame-by-frame animation. I'm going to be doing some frame-by-frame. You'll just be watching along. Anyway, I say we like Julia Child would say we. Does anyone know who that is? I don't even know anymore. Anyhow, let's go to new. Okay, so our setup. So we're going to keep these settings as is. We're going to go over here to our frame rate, 8 frames per second. That is correct, yes. And why? Now, that is a very good question. What this is that is 8 drawings per second. Normally, it would be 12 in most cases. Moho is doing, of course, 24. But for more the traditional hand-drawn animation, it's at 12. We're doing 8 because it's good for action. Is this action that I'm doing today? Well, yeah, sort of is. Let's see what we come up with here. So playback time is going to be 1 second and 4 frames. That's going to change the playback, but we don't really need that. It's just a quick action, just 1 second. Pow. So let's get started. Okay. So here you can see the animation folder. This is our timeline, and we have boom, right here. We're going to go ahead and click on this thing that says animation folder, and we're going to go to that, and we're going to say pencils. I suppose it could be roughs, first pass, whatever you want to call it. Framing, blocking, whatever. Select that paper. We're going to bring in just for a second here, just for some reference. That was the last scene I worked on. And we're going to go up to here, and we're going to figure out, there's a background. What do you know? I had rendered out a background, and there it is. Okay. Let's save this. All right, going to go save as, and it would help maybe if with the saving the file folder we just were tooling around in. You know, that might have been worked. Yeah. Anyway, the last shot, frame by frame, that I had just completed was that of Rachel kind of getting back on her feet. Difficult to do in Moho at the angle that I wanted, and so I did it frame by frame. And an effort to kind of get better at frame by frame animation. Yes, this is also true. So, 1 second here. I'm going to go to fire up the Moho. And why am I firing a Mo? Well, okay, so Moho is where the character models live, and off screen, which you cannot see, is what I'm doing is I'm going to bring up our Selexis model. Okay, we're going to have her go ahead and let's get those weapon hands. Gosh, she's got a lot of hands. All right, yeah, that's okay. And we're left hand here. I'm bringing out the weapons because her hands normally don't have them in there. It's just one of her many hand shapes in the switch layer for hands. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of get a look, be able to make sure that I'm drawing somewhat close when I get down to the detail phase. But for right now, just kind of need to rough things out. Let's reset our colors here and go to the pencil. Oh, that's pen, sorry. Let's go to the pencil. I got it at 12 right now, and for blocking purposes, yes, I think, well, I mean, that would make sense against a color background, which we don't need to be seeing right now. Go ahead and select the black. Okay, so let's begin drawing out the figure. I usually always start with the head. looking at a slightly downward angle. Going to have this one out here. Have this one is going to be, let's see here, connect also her hips are a little bit there, there, and there. Okay, so let's go ahead and say right here to right here. Okay. And this is going to be here, it's going to be here. Okay, so what we're doing is we're drawing basically just the basic shapes of the position of where everything's going to be, weapons, and whatnot. And maybe starting to get her formed up here, as well as her physique. And we'll just kind of start right there, kind of take stock of everything and say that's not so bad. Let's kind of tighten that down a little bit here. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. You can proceed. The blue line is the actual, that's the limit of what will be exported, so this extra stuff is just kind of structure for my gratification, I guess. I know it's there. Okay, let's make sure we got that there, and we need to put a little bit of a healthy thing on there. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, okay, this is a good start. Okay, so now we're going to draw keyframes. So this is our starting frame, frame 1. Breathtaking, I know. All right, let's do the final frame, which is going to be frame 8 here. We're going to go up to the new cell button, click on that, and it's a new cell. Oh my gosh. And of course you can't see what's come before you, but so we need to see what's come before us and see that we're going to have enabling the onion skin. Okay, this is enables to see what has happened before and what will happen to come. The before is always this kind of like a bluish color, and then the to come will be a green color, since there's nothing before, after frame 8, there's only frame 1 before, that's why we only see this. Let's see if we can rectify that for the next time we make a new cell. So now I should look at our storyboards. Look at our storyboards real quick. Okay, wow, we're really going to really force out this perspective. They're tremendously outweigh. Yeah. We're going to force out this perspective as much as we can. Okay. In fact, we could force this perspective out a lot more than this. Yeah, okay, that's it, what I think we'll do. Okay, let's go ahead and just kind of shoot that all out. And instead of drawing the weapon first, no. Okay. Here we go. Let's really bring that weapon into the frame like it's coming at you, 3D style. 3D glasses, not included. Okay. Okay, that's not bad. All right, so now we're just going to have to put that there. Okay, so we're going to... Okay, we'll go back to frame 1. Let's go back to frame 1 just briefly here and rearrange some stuff real quickly. Yeah, okay, let's do this instead. I said I'm not great at frame-by-frame animation, so therefore I've kind of got to get better. And this is one of the ways you get better is by doing. So that's what we're doing today. Okay, so there we go. That's going to go up like that. And then it's going to go down like that. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. A little bit better. Okay, now to the next frame. And now we're going to go to here, to here, to here. here. Lower that head down a scoosh. And just 1 second. I'll be right with everyone in a moment. I have got to... You're hearing a slight whooshing sound. There's a fan going. I need to turn off. 1 second, please. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Poor planning on my part. Much better, much better, much better. Okay, so I'm going to kind of maybe force that perspective up a little bit more here. Oh yeah, we can force that perspective up a tremendous amount. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I should have probably done that first. That there. There we go. Oh, it's not that big of a guard here. Let's take that guard down quite a bit. Alrighty. Alrighty then. Okay, so now we have 2 keyframes. Play through. Alright, needs some work still. Close, but not quite. Gonna probably push this perspective a heck of a lot more than what I was just doing. Yeah. Let's get that eraser down a little bit more for some fine erasing. Oops, grab the pen tool, not ready for that yet. Okay, so getting your keyframes right isn't crucially important, so that's what I was just doing. Taking maybe far too long to do so, but getting them right is very, very important. Let's see if we're happy with this motion. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. Alright. Now, what should I do? Should I do all the details? Oh, no. We're not going to do all the details. We're just going to get the main form on each of these guys. So, now the all-important middle in between. Or maybe a third keyframe. Potentially. Well, direct us to the rest of the way. So, let's see what we got. Okay. Hit the new frame. So now we have a new keyframe. Now, the important thing to remember is that your in-betweens shouldn't just be a linear halfway between these two drawings. This is where you can add some movement and life into there, which I shall attempt to now do so. And you may be asking how, and I'm asking myself that too. No, okay. Sweeping motions. Okay, for one, we need to establish a sweeping motion of the non-attacking danger rod. I don't want to call them. So let's see. So we want like an arcing action to here. So, which is great. So keeping that in mind, we're going to probably draw another sweeping arc action here. Okay, in order to kind of get this idea that there's this whoosh out there, we don't need that line there. That's just for kind of some illustrative purposes there. Okay, so basically that's kind of what we're going to do with that. Now let's add in some, instead of just going with our head completely down, shift her over. Okay, so now say she's going to put a little bit more purchase on this by maybe even raising this leg up like so, and shifting to balance more on this one. Potentially, yes. Well, you may notice there's not a lot of details on her hands, and that's because... Aha! Because being black gloves, they're just going to be a mass of black anyway. So normally I'd have to break down where the fingers go and everything. It's just kind of generally fudging it right at the moment. May still do that later. For no other good reason other than it will help a little bit down the road. Aha. Here we go. Let's see what this looks like. Ah, yeah, things are coming together here in a stick person attack. Sorry, general shape attack. All right, so we now have 3 keyframes that are, I think, reasonably good. The only problem with this, is that we need her to shift, and I did not draw her shifting more to support on this one right here. So how are we going to do that? Well, okay, so we're going to hit the Shift A to select all, and we're going to move our movement. Scale, rotate. What about move? Where's move? Expand, shrink. Alright, here we go. And now we're going to rotate to get the idea that she is shifting her weight onto that back leg, and we'll put her then weight onto our front leg. Go ahead, OK, and we're going to deselect, and let's turn up that. Let's see how that looks. Now, see here, it looks like this leg is forward more. Let's make that so. Is actually more on the forward. Got some twisting of the torso going on there. That's not bad. But yeah, let's kind of get to the effect here that we are actually got this leg here, and it is indeed going in the forward pattern. Where's this leg? Is on the back side. All right, there we go. Okay. Do a quick. Remember, don't scrub the timeline. Okay, this is a note to myself. So if you're scrubbing the timeline and you're doing it down, and you're scrubbing up here, and oh yeah, this is fine. But if you drift down here, you're going to accidentally grab one of your cell frames and move them out of order, and it's going to be all funky and janky. Or you're going to eliminate completely, and then it's just a pain. You're kind of lost because the numbering's all whack job over here. So yeah, if you were animating one frame after another, that would be fine. But if you could. And there may be a way to do this, denote each of these that this was a keyframe, and then the in-betweens would be based thereof. Good question. Apparently not. Okay, well, maybe in a newer version of Clip Paint Studio Pro they have on this one. I suppose they don't. Okay. It would be handy. Yeah, okay. Well, there we go. I'll put it in the suggestion box. Yeah, I sent so many suggestions to Adobe over the years. They've stopped responding to my emails. All right. Blocked. Yeah. Well, anyway. Okay, we're going to get some other details in here just where we can. Now, before we get too many details in here, I would like to say that it would probably be better just to go ahead and fill in the materials from the other frames from here. So let's do that, shall we? All right, let's go ahead and do some in-betweens. New frame here. Okay, we don't see anything. Okay, so here we go. This is frame 1 in the blue, and in the green is our middle frame 4, or is that 5? 5. Okay, so we need to kind of begin to build out how this is going to work. So let's do that. Well, no. Yeah. Let's see here. We'll have 1, 2, 3 frames. Yeah. Let's back that up a second here. Thought better of it for a second. Okay, so when you have 3 keyframes, it's kind of special when you're doing 8 frames, from what I found. Okay. Now, your mileage may vary on this device. It may be complete and total BS. But I find you don't have one directly in the middle. It kind of helps the visual oomph, if you will, of the illusion. If you do not have one directly in the middle. So that's what we're going to try to avoid. That arm is actually supposed to be like back. So that may be still behind the torso. And so here. There. Okay. Shifting of the weight has begun, so let's see here. Now, this is interesting because we want this one to be kind of out like this here. Okay. Okay, make that a little bit more 4C perspective-y type thing going on here. Put the hand here. Okay, like there's just a slight bit of movement there, and there, and there. Okay, so we're going to call that one framed. All right, now let's get a little bit closer. Now, we're not going to go get too far here. I'm going to stay very close to this one, quite honestly. The previous one is going to be very close. I mean, this one's going to be very close to the previous one. Slight changes. Okay. Very somewhat close. Okay, this one's the one. Well, no, it won't change all that much. Remember, we've got to get a sweeping motion here. That imaginary arc that I erased. Again, not that much different here. She is raising that leg, but we're not going to go too far into that right now. Okay, that one can come down here, and this one can remain right here. All right. Ooh, wow. Yeah, that's that. Sometimes you have to turn it off to kind of see where you're at, and I discovered I was at a not so great place. Those deltoid muscles in there. There we go. All right, next frame. All right, here we go. Now, we're going to jump. So instead of drawing like this, close to, it's going to be close to the green one. Everything's going to be much closer to the green than the previous one. This will give hopefully an illusion of rapid movement, and your eye will fill in the blanks. Anyway, that's it. We shall see, shan't we? Very strange. All right. Sorry. Weird sounds out on the... I think there were weird sounds out on the highway today. Anyway. Much closer. We've got here. Okay. Let's see how we're doing here. Okay, skin. Let's go and check out our progress. Hit save though, just in case this crashes out. It'd be catastrophic at this phase. It's saving. Give it a second. There it goes. All right, let's play. Whoa. Okay, wow. So, not bad. Okay, yeah. Not bad at all. So we're going to leave that exactly where it's at. Now, believe it or not, we're not going to, oh, I didn't hit the, there we go. I didn't hit the new frame yet. Okay, so, all right, so believe it or not, what we are going to do is we're going to keep it close to our preceding frame 5 here at frame 6. We'll continue slightly, and then there will be a more rapid motion in the next 2 frames. In fact, we could almost pull this back one. A little bit of anticipation here. Yeah, that's the ticket. Anticipation, yeah. I sound like a professional animator for a second. Alrighty then. But just a second. In fact, we're going to even raise this leg up a little bit more to get this idea that we are really getting ready to thrust this with some force into the unsuspecting face of our target. Who is our target? Well, more on that in a bit. Okay, all right. That's not bad. Okay, and we'll go ahead and these right about there too. And this will be just about the same. All right, this is what we call anticipation. Okay, getting ready to do the thrusting. One quick thrust, and the deed is done. All right. Oh, sorry, I only had 1 frame. Sorry, there's only 1 frame difference. Oh well, okay, it's fine. That's fine. So this one is going to be the thrust in process. There we go. So here. No, actually, I think I'm even going to go further than that. It's too close, too in between. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to what's almost... Yeah, we're going to... Yeah. Drop down. Down to here. Much closer to our ending. That head's too big. Yikes. Nope. All right, let's go back to here. And yeah. Oh, okay. Here we go. Now this leg will be much more kind of down, close to where we need it to be. Okay. Oh, well, sorry. No, not quite. Not quite. Clean that up a little bit. turn off the onion skin. Let's go back to frame 1 and see what all of our 8 frames look like. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, and there it is on the background. And we're done. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry, no, sorry. We've only just begun. Whoa, I know, it's crazy. 36 minutes in? Hey, that's not a problem. We shall forge on ahead. To the head. Aha. All right. Let us go in and get some details. Some other details. Bring up my Moho thing. Okay. It's very important to have your Moho character reference on screen so you know that you're drawing in a similar fashion to how the Moho model works. Works and looks. Okay, so we're just going to do... there. There. Okay. Okay. Small details first. We're going to go through and add in a series of small details in each sweep, and it will get progressively more detailed each time we go through this. So let's start here. Doot. All right. That was on number 2. Ah, well, great. Well, that was wonderful. I started on number 2. Let's go ahead and start on 1 there. Okay, well, that wasn't too far off from where I was. Okay. Okay, make sure we get our details kind of roughly in where they should be. Just a little bit of eraser chore here. Might be a little bit of delayed action on that. If I had more frames, there could be, but we're not going to rush to that. We're not going to push that. It's kind of there. Okay, so we're doing that there. Oh yeah, there will be special effects added to the danger rods. I don't. Danger rods, the stick of death, the stun sticks, the tools of the trade, but that will be done after this animation is completely complete. And what I'll do is I'll import the image sequence into Moho, and then I will line up the particle layer that I have that generate this little dots on the Lexus model. Line that up to each of the movements here, and we'll just have the particles generated out. Yeah, I think so anyway. I could do that by hand too. We'll see. Anyway, moving right along. Moving right along. Okay. Artistic drift is what I call it. And that's where certain parts of the female anatomy will become larger the more you draw them. This is, I would say, oh, it's the male case. Well, no, I've noticed it happens with a female artist to do this as well with their characters. So it's just not all male artists that do this. So, sorry for tattling, ladies. You know who you are. Anyway, let's go to here. Do. All right. Now, this is the reason why I'm doing it instead of drawing everything out at once is because this helps me keep track of secondary movements better. So, believe it or not. It's a lot of scribbling over here that doesn't need to be here. All right. All right. Okay. Alrighty, that's not so bad. Okay. You know, I think it would probably be better to do something completely different here. Not bad, not bad, not bad. A little bit of detail there to figure things out. Help me figure things out later. Okay, ooh, needs to be flattened. Okay, and hey, our final frame. Okay, let's check that out and see. Control 0 gets us back to our starting view at 100%. Let's hit save. And let's now continue on. Oh, hang on. Let's see what we got. Bingo. All right, frame 1. Next pass. Abdominal details. All right. Unfortunately, some of this stuff's going to be obfuscated. All right, let's go ahead and get the shoulder strap in here to here. To here. All right. Okay. Keeping in mind that detail there. Okay. She's got that there. She's gonna go that there. She's gonna go that there, and that's not gonna be visible on the other side. So, all right. We will stop right there. Like all red people, she has no navel. That's a John Carter thing. I don't know. I just thought I'd bring it over. Anyway. Does that mean she's born a naked? I don't know. I just... I really didn't think that far ahead. I really did not plan that far ahead. I just said, oh, that'd be kind of a neat detail. And I did that, so, in the original drawing. So, yeah. Hey, man, I just work here. Alrighty. All right, well, this is, I know, but sounds pulse pounding, doesn't it? Wow. Oh, yeah. The joy of frame-by-frame animation brought to life in a stunning detail. All right. Actually, let's change that up a little bit. Some twisting going on here. Make sure that twisting is represented well. Okay, things are moving along at a decent pace here. All right, not bad, not bad. Yeah, I get the side of that torso there. Nice. I planned it that way completely. Yes, that I meant to do that. Absolutely, yes. What? And cup. Wow. Looks like we are just about done here. All right. Bring that back over just a skosh. There we go. All right, let's turn off the onion skinning and go back to frame 1. Hit save. Wait for it to save for a few seconds. All right, and it's saved. All right, let's play through. Okay, hey, not bad. All right, let's go into the deltoids here and add in those details that I keep seeing phasing out. There we go. Oh, wow. All right, well, I'm going to assume that there's a muscle in there somewhere. Let's kind of maybe clean this up a bit so I can see what's going on. Kudos to you Japanese animators who do all this on paper, by the way. Well, I mean, I'm sure that has its advantages, and but wow, hats off. Seriously. make sure that that's on here too. Just kind of get this idea that that's there. There we go. All right. All right, excellent. Next pass. Let's hit the hair. Now, okay, this is going to be a little tricky because right now all we're doing is the only thing I'm going to be doing is the hair in the back, trying to capture that motion there. Once again, I must say that, this motion of this hair will help, definitely help sell the movement that we have. I got too high. Trying to clean that up, and I made it worse. There we go. I made everything worse there. All right, that's fine. All right, anyway, let's go back to make frame one. Okay, so our hair will come down from here to here. Oop. Oop. Okay, so that's going to move out. That. Yeah, there we go. Where I was at previously. All right, let's turn those off and take a quick peek at that. All right, so it's this one right here. All right, well, yeah, that generally not bad. But what I need is a little bit of secondary motion. A little bit of the hair going the completely opposite way. Invisible over here. Still blocked there, still blocked there. Well, if it's going to be that low, I put my finger on the screen. Blocked, 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 blocked. Blocked. All right. Actually, that would not be visible because that will be almost sticking out straight behind her and catching up later. All right, well, we won't get that far. Well, no, we're not going to do that. Another second of animation we probably would have got there. Just a few more frames, but we're not doing that. No. Okay. Turn off the onion skin. Let's hit save. And keeping this close up, let's go ahead and hit... Oh, we have to wait for the save to happen. Save just happened. Okay, there we go. All right, hey, that is some, looks like some force is being put into that, and that's the entire point. Thank you for coming. No, okay. All right, whoo boy, now we're in it. Now we are in it. Okay. So now we've got to get into here. Gotta draw this out. All right, let's change our pencils. Boop. Bring that down. There we go. Bring that down to there. Our weird ear hole things. Okay, make sure that that is there and that is there. Okay, so far, so good. He's got the appropriate aggressive expression going on here. One eyelash coming out of the corner there. Gonna make it standardized. And there we go. Alas, no. What we need to do now is we need to add in the top of her head. Yes, okay, so we're going to do her hair. She, of course, if you have not seen this before, she has the mohawk of her people are kind of naturally befit with this befit with this hairstyle. Bereft of good hair. No, okay. So we're going to put that one there and that one there, and there will be a third one there whenever this moves. All right, so there we go. All right. Kaplow. Okay. Base head here for frame 1. Should we go to frame 0? Totally different. No. In order to keep it similar, we're just going to go from here. Alrighty, back to pencil. So, kind of make the chin, and we're gonna go back into here. That ear back together here, here. Her head will not pivot from side to side since she is locked on to her target. Keep that locked on to our target. Look. Alrighty, let's see here. Gotta clean this up a little bit to kind of get a better feel for things, and add in a stronger line. There we go. All right, not bad. All right, let's get that hair line in here, and we'll put that there. Okay. I don't really kind of need that at the moment since I kind of know where I'm going. Get that down there, and actually I'll just lightly with it. There, it's light, not quite as harsh and heavy as it was. There we go. All right. Now, if I was smart, what I probably would have done is I would have copied and pasted the head over, because that's what you can do. You can copy the segment of the head and into a new keyframe, and just kind of save yourself from having to redraw everything, and you get a detailed look that is consistent. And sometimes it can seem a little, I don't want to say stilted. Stilted's coming to mind though. I don't know. Otherwise, I get, you get a lot of shifting lines and stuff like that. I don't know. It's 6 to 1/2 dozen to the other. Well, I'm going to try it this way, and let me experiment with that copy paste technique next time I try this. Which weirdly will be quite soon. I believe the next shot, actually. All right, well. Okay, that's fine right there. That's fine right there. That's fine right there. Okay. Here we go. Not bad, not bad, not bad. A little bit of variance. And hit position. Pen tool, that's fine. We'll leave that there. Be a good starting point. It's like she's going to raise up a little bit on the eye line, so we're going to make the nose kind of do that too. Don't mind the rain that you're hearing. Think of it as a soothing Saturday afternoon rain shower. All right, there we go. Not bad, not bad. There. Okay. All right, that's not too bad. See how this all looks. Let's turn off the end skin and see what we got. Just focusing on the face. All right. So far, so good. All right, let's erase some of this extraneous lines that we don't need anymore. Keep the main there until I get the new ones in. All right, let's see what we got. very, very close to what we've got here. All right, there we go, and there we go, and okay. Raising the eye line even more, eh? Hey! All right. All right, that's not bad. All right. Now we're going completely at a different angle, as we are now on the assault. Let's do okay. Okay. Let's get that secondary motion. Probably needs to be a little bit more like like that. Yeah, there we go. She's on attack mode. This is also kind of the horns, maybe. Whoa. Oh, she does have this Black Widow symbol on her chest, you know. So that is totally just not an important design element. Pay no mind to that at all. No, sorry. Forget I even mentioned it. It's not important at all. Yeah, there's no meaning. It's no bearing on anything. It's just happens to be kind of there. But it's... Okay, we're done. we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead. Figure out how low her face is going to go here. There. All right. This is probably not going to be that big. Well, it might be. Hang on. I say that. I'm like, well, you know, that's probably. Oh wait, no. Actually, it might be. We're going to establish that right now. Oh no, it is not. Okay, well, right, well, that's the collar, choker, whatever. There we go. Right about there. So her head got a little bit bigger than it was last time because we have moved down and quote unquote closer to the camera. Alrighty then. Stretch out the arm for a second. Been at this for an hour. Not doing bad. I got the pencils done in 1 hour. That's pretty good. You're asking, but what is the next phase? Just 1 second. Let me wrap this up real quick. Her hair has also kind of come down a little bit there. Okay. We'll have her hair just kind of go a slighter, more normal appearance, maybe slightly up, but just still a little bit, not too much. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like so, and like so. Yeah, there we go. And it's laying back down. Approached. There we go, ma'am. All right. Are we done with penciling? Oh, if only that were the case. Hit save. If only that were the case. But sadly, no. Bingo. Very nice. Okay. You're like, well, what else can there be? Well, there's the danger rods. Oh, yeah, the danger rods have details on them. Well, I mean, how much detail are we going to really need here? And the answer is all the details. All the details. Forever and a day. All right, so let's go ahead and make that like that. Okay. Like that, like that, like that. Okay, so I just wanted to lock in some details. As much as I could before I kind of went in here and just start erasing the crap out of what's in the middle of here, because this is all not going to be there. All right. No, that's going to be there, but well, okay, fine. Okay. Looking at my reference. But I'm not going to get the beveled sizes I normally do on these things. We're just kind of fudge this as best I can, like so. Okay, and then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to do this. That will be in a yellow. That'll be in yellow. I'm not going to worry about any details on that. No. Nope. Okay, so this one's going to be basically the same thing. Okay, there we go. Okay. I went ahead and inked those, put those in ink so that the details won't get lost. Easy to follow whenever I go to here and I click that. What do you know? It's easy to follow. Imagine that. Oh, wait. I need the line tool. All right. Now we need the pen tool. And the rain has passed and the sun has come out. And traffic rolls by occasionally. The street's fairly quiet, but occasionally. You never know. Usually on Saturdays, like something like a tractor or something that doesn't come rumbling by. Could, but normally no. Alright. So going off our previous guy here. There we go. All right. Not bad. Not great, but hey, not bad. I mean, okay, so that's it. Normally there are a bunch of other like line details in there. We're not going to do that though. That does not show up on the Moho models, I believe. But my illustrations that I've done of this character, yes, it does. But I'm just going to ignore that at this time. Let's hit save for a second. Stretch out the old hands. Particularly that pinky gets stiff. I'm not ancient. Nope. All right. Alrighty then. If I were smart, I could have done these in 3D objects and imported them in. Let's make 3D objects. Well. Let's do one of those dealies there, and here, put that to there, put that to there. Whoa. That over to here. And there we are. Ow. The little sparky patterns I'm doing in here, they don't have to be consistent because it's shifting all the time, so I don't have to worry about consistency there. Come here. Anyway. Those will probably go into the color phase, to be honest. No, actually, I know I can put them in yellow, and then in the color phase, I wouldn't have to worry about them. They'd all be done. Yeah, okay, never mind. Okay, so wow, things are really moving on here. No. Okay, hang on one second here. All right, there we go. It's too far back. Apologies. Yeah, I think that's better. No, mostly anyway. Alrighty then. Okay, there we go. And there we go. Just kind of remind those guys are right. All right. Yeah. All right. It's coming together quite nicely. Yes, I could use a circular shape tool in that, but I prefer to keep things fluid. A little roughshod. It matches the rest of the animation. Doesn't look so mechanical that way. Anyway, that's just my thought anyway. That's going to be invisible now, and we'll go down to there. There, this top bit doesn't have a bit to it like that, and that's going to have a bit that comes over here like that, goes over there like that, and it's going to have the sparky dude going on in there like so. All right, there we go. All right, things are moving along quite well. Aha. I talk about Doctor Who animation quite a bit, probably way too much. But there have been animated reconstructions, and they are done using similar programs to what I did. In fact, the Ice Warriors used Anime Studio, which is what Moho has morphed into. And that's why I started using Anime Studio. I'd really liked the invasion, and I thought the idea of having to being able to pivot faces and being a little bit more, expressive was a little bit more movement too. Was quite nice because Cosgrove Hall with the invasion had just used Flash, and with Moho's rigging capabilities, it really kind of brought out things a little bit more. And of course, a lot of the other have done frame by frame, probably using TV Tune or something like that, I would say. And because of the Otaku King, his style is all over that, which is really great. Oh, it's awesome. And that's for the mostly on the Moonbase episodes 1 and 3, and then of course the 10th Planet episode 4. Brilliantly done, beautifully done. They went ahead and did a series in Australia called Prisoner Zero. Some very good writers. Toby Russell, I think, was the writer. Doctor Who magazine writer and whatnot. And now there's this kind of, unfortunately, a kind of a call in the fandom to use AI to reconstruct the missing episodes, and I've got to say I don't particularly like that idea. I'd much rather see an animation where I can see the artist struggling against the medium and the budget and the time that they've been allotted to produce an animated production. I always like productions which are big on ideas, and the animators are trying to always push as far as they can go. I believe the original space battleship Yamato from 1974, this is 1975, it is where the animators are really struggling with the medium and going way beyond. I see it as actually my kind of continuity. It's a bit of a sister series of Filmation's Star Trek animated series, I honestly. So I don't particularly like the idea of too perfect AI reconstructions of Doctor Who, because Doctor Who, especially in the 60s and with the industry, they tend to look dodgy. And I think the animation being low budget fits it much better. That being said, some of the better reconstructions, the best 2D one, I think, is the Macroterra. The animation is by Sun and Moon Studios, and they use Toon Boom Harmony. It's breathtaking. The Chameleons is quite good. It used Adobe Animate, which who knows if they'll be using that in the next one. And but my favorite, I think, is Evil Adolix, which is also Adobe Animate, but they did such a great job with it. I was really, really impressed. So the future, we don't know. The Savages was done with Animate as well. And okay, they used to do the backgrounds in 3D. I would use probably Lightwave or maybe Blender to reconstruct the backgrounds. They've got, of course, access to all the set designers' notes and directors' notes, so they can really and maybe sometimes all telesnaps, which are shots that were taken for continuity reasons off camera and put into a book, so the directors from week to week could recreate what they had filmed before. So they've got all access to all that, and I've seen some AI recreations, and it's not. I don't cotton to it. Nerdy Doctor Who opinions. Yeah, especially in animation. That makes it. Now the 3D stuff. It's kind of been all over the place. There's Dreamland, which was 10th Doctor story. It's early 3D animation. His hair is incredibly spiky. Woo. Like spikier than what the Clone Wars had. So it was an interesting attempt. It's not something I think the fandom really appreciated very much, or maybe the general public. I don't know. But anyway. An extra superfluous line we don't need there. So there's that. Now, 3D animation in a surrealist story like The Celestial Toymaker. Haha! That is, at first it was very off-putting when I saw the idea that they were going to be doing this. I was like, but then in execution it actually works really well, because this is a story which is very surreal, to say the least. So it does kind of make a certain amount of sense to do it that way. And creepy clowns and killer card people, and Michael Goff as the Celestial Toymaker. Aside, not bad. It ended up being pretty good. So I don't know if we're ever going to get that again. The Mind Robbers and all in one place, and those Warriors Gate. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just don't kind of cotton to the whole AI being used idea. But we shall see what they come up with. Now that being said, as far as 3D animations go, there was a fan animation. I believe a couple did this, and it is of the Wheel in Space, and they did it all in 3D animation, and it's really quite good. I mean, it really is quite good. I, before starting doing Indavo 3, had toyed with the idea of not doing Indavo 3 just yet, but doing an animated reconstruction of the remaining episodes of Wheel in Space, which you kind of have in episode 1, because they did do that with kind of a cut down version, and that's in the DVD set for Macroterra. I think it was for some sort of BAFTA or British Film Institute show or something, but it's a strip down, mostly the Doctor and Jamie, whose models they already had, and it's quite good. Now they did episode 1 to 4 and 5, and that's probably what I would have done if I would have done it. But since they did it, I said, oh gosh, no, they did it much more superior than what my meager 2D animation skills would have been able to get us. So bravo to them, hats off, they did a great job. Check it out on the YouTube if you're into Doctor Who reconstructions. If you're watching my channel, I would imagine you would be. Now on to anime. Controversial anime opinions. 1. The best animated series with its reconstruction tells you how to reboot a series is, of course, Space Battleship Yamato Star Blazers $21.99. Came out in 2012, and they've got a current series out now. It's $31.99. It's great. Great stuff. Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, Dandan. Well, actually, Dandan probably would qualify, I think. I really do enjoy Dandan. A series which does not get a lot of love, series that do not get a lot of love, I would say, is Outlaw Star, Space Adventure series. Got a red-headed hero on a red spaceship. Motley cast of characters following around on crazy adventures. Vaguely familiar. But Giant Robo, the night or the day the Earth stood still, depending on which version you're finding, it is the 90s giant robot anime that did have the deeper themes and meanings behind it that should have been popular, but instead Neon Genesis Evangelion got popular, and all it is Hideki Anno working through his mental illness. Sorry, Anno. Which I'm sure was very cathartic for him. It did give us Fooly Cooly, okay? Neon Genesis Evangelion gave us Fooly Cooly, so that can be forgiven on that score. So, recent anime I've enjoyed. Well, I did like Cyberpunk was pretty good. The Ramna and a Half reboot series has been pretty damn funny and pretty well executed. Of course, Dandadan was really great. And of course, Delicious in Dungeon, or Dungeon Meshi, was a surprisingly great series. I'm eagerly looking forward to its next run. But Mappa only works on one series at a time. Is it Mappa or Trigger? Okay, I think it's Mappa for them. It may be Trigger. No, I think it is Mappa. Anyway, Science Saru is killing it though, with their new version of Ghost in the Shell, based more on the original manga. I do like that quite a bit. Okay, let's take a look and see what we've got. And round out the penciling phase. Take off the onion skins. Let's go back to frame 1. And let's hit... All right, bam, that is the pencil phase. All done in an hour and 30 minutes. Woo! Okay, well. So, well, that's pencil phase. And this is where we're at. Okay. Before I end the stream, maybe we're going to go a little bit into inking. I don't think we're going to go through all the inking phase at quite this time. Time is running out. It is kind of getting late on a Saturday afternoon, and there are things to do. So let's talk about how we do this. Okay, first thing we do is we're going to go to the animation folder for the pencils. I'm going to go down here where it says normal. It's got this little slider here. That's your opacity. We're going to slide that down to about 50%. So now everyone's gray. And it's cool. All right, bam. So now we're going to click on the pencil layer, and we're going to go over to here to this little icon. It's new animation folder. Click on that bad boy right there. Bam. And we'll go over to our layers panel. we're going to double click right here. We're going to call this inks or tie down or I don't know, clean up, whatever. I call it inks because it's like comic-y stuff. I don't stuck. Put a new cell in, pal. All right. And so now we're at the inking phase. And what's the inking phase like? Well, it's a bit like the penciling phase. Now we're just going to trace over our drawing here. So we're in the right layer. We're on inks. Pencils below. I mean, you can turn this on, but it won't work because it won't give you onion skins on your pencil layer. It'll only give you onion skins on the current layer you're working. So if you're worried about, oh, if I turn that on, I'll see all the pencil stuff go. No. You're only going to see the onion skins on the layer you have selected, which is right now the inks layer. Pro tip. Oh, you've already knew that. But if you didn't, pro tip. Okay. There. Excellent. So I've got a printer sensitive stylus and a Hurian tablet, and I've got to remember not to dig into it constantly like I'm fighting it for my life. I mean, that applies to all drawings. Drawing on in class on a huge in art class on a huge add a paper. You don't have to etch it in like you're carving into stone. Keep your I usually do an eye white there, like a reflection in the eye, not an eye white. Gosh. But I'm not today because it's small, very, very small. Do one of these things here. Okay, there we go, and move the earrings. All right, no ghost ear holes. Universal no symbol ear holes. I don't know. Danger? I don't know. What was I trying to say? Danger? Or was I just trying to do something different? Who knows? I would imagine. I was probably saying danger. So why are the hot girls always danger? Well, you know, it's like James Bond, I guess. Neil Patrick Harris JPEG here. Anyway, I'm just gonna do. All right, there we go. I'm gonna go down to here, and we're gonna put. All right, and on that, I'm gonna go ahead and fill black. On my inks, if I something black, I'm just going to fill it in black on the inks instead of doing it on the colors. That way I don't have to worry about drawing details that I'm going to be obfuscating. Anyway, to be honest. Okay. Alright, that's not bad. We're going to leave that as is there. Okay, here, there, there. And there's a connector there, and we're going to make that all black as well. Oop. Almost. How? Alright. Things are taking shape. Sometimes I don't do it. Just more for your benefit. The blacking it in like that so soon is more for your benefit than it is mine. But you know, just kind of illustrating the process as best I can here. Illustrating the process of illustration. Multifaceted and multi-layered. So what's this all mean? Well, this all means that we are coming to the end of episode 3's production. Oh gosh, what do you know? The episode 3 is just about done. So the last few scenes, handfuls of scenes that I've been doing right now. That means release date, episode 3. Okay, let's talk about that. I was thinking late September, maybe early October. Hopefully not, though. But there are things coming up. Okay, so I am pursuing a master's degree of science in professional media and media management at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. I'm also an employee there, marketing associate, read fancy graphic designer. And I only take one class a semester. Grad classes can be pretty intense, and this one is on the law and mass media, and it could be pretty intense. We shall see. And Professor, if you're listening to this, that's not a critique, it's just a truism. Like, I'm not complaining yet. Yet. There may be complaints later. I'll save those once the class gets started. Well, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to finish up principal animation before class begins. And that's why I'm trying to do as much as possible. And I wanted to do some frame by frame because I had this frame by frame idea, and I kind of had to cut back on a little bit of what I was planning to do. I could do some of it in Moho, I'm pretty sure. So therefore, we're just going to kind of do the best I can with things. And hope for the best. This is really all one can do. So once the principal animation's done, it's on to sound effects and scoring and editing. I've been editing as I went along, so I mean it's not going to take too long to maybe tighten up the edit a bit. Wouldn't think so. It could though, but I hope not. Oh, no. Do not do these flares in the black. All right, let's go to this white here, on over here, in the bottom left-hand corner. And we're going to select this yellow. This is very bright yellow. Okay, now I'm going to go back to black. Oh, let's go ahead and do that. There we go, bam. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the final process here of what the inking looks like. And ink this frame here. Ooh, try not to cover up your black lines completely. There we go, ATV passing on the road, nothing to worry about. All right, hey, there we go. Let's go back to here, pow. And let's take off the pencil layer, bam, and let's go to here. So there we go. This is what we got. One inked cell out of 7. So that will be the process. So I feel like this is a pretty good place to probably stop, since we are closing in on the 2-hour mark. An hour and 45 minutes, actually. So, hey, all right. This is pretty involved, and I'm hoping to have it knocked out by the end of tomorrow and to be on to the next shot. So there may be an art stream sometime this week. If not, there definitely will be one next Saturday. I'm hoping to be done with the frame by frame for quite a while and be into some Moho stuff and be able to truck through that quite quickly. Because if I do, I will be able to get this done on time. Because time is rapidly running out for me to get this done without having the interruption of having to spend time doing course materials stuff. So, anyway, if you have any questions about this whole process, comments, take umbrage with my anime opinions or doctor opinions, feel free to at any time. All right, I will see you all on the next stream, and hopefully soon there will be an Indavo 3 premiere in the next 2 months, by October 1st. Fingers crossed. I'm working on it. All right.